What's up everyone, it's Macy from Plant with Purpose, and today we're going to be highlighting some of our favorite environmental stories of 2024. While it's true that the climate conversation often comes with a lot of negative stories, we're here to highlight the positive change that is happening. Even when it doesn't feel like it, there are so many good news stories to share, so let's get into it. Okay, so for the first time in nearly 50 years, the eastern black rhino is now back on its native rangelands in Kenya. Once abundant in Kenya, the black rhino populations were devastated by poaching in the 1970s and 80s, driven by the illegal wildlife trade for their horns, which are made of keratin. Today, thanks to global conservation efforts, the population is back on the rise, and the government aims to double this number to establish a sustainable and stable population of 2,000. Okay, one of our favorite stories of the year actually takes us to Mexico City, which is one of the most populated but polluted cities in the world. They're turning over a new leaf, literally, with an ambitious roof garden initiative. The city aims to expand its green roof to cover over 100,000 square meters, targeting schools and hospitals. These green roofs help absorb heat, boost energy efficiency, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and improve the air quality. A highlight is this massive green roof, which is home to over 125 plant species. This space not only reduces energy consumption by up to 15%, also serves as a public educational and recreational area, attracting students, environmentalists, visitors from across the city. Did you know that countries without early warning systems face 6 times higher disaster-related mortality rates? That's why Google Maps just launched its live wildfire tracker to see a fire's location in real time. Only recently did the EU actually mandate that these systems should be in place, and Google launched wildfire tracking internationally this year, and they had just added Greece. The wildfire boundary maps also expanded this year to new countries in Europe and Africa. This tool will save lives, especially in a time when natural disasters are becoming more frequent and weather patterns seem to be a little bit more unpredictable. On a more local note, Go Farm operates a mobile market truck, Chuck the Truck, which travels around Golden, Colorado, and brings fresh, locally sourced vegetables to low-income neighborhoods, offering a pay-what-you-can farmers market. And Chuck brings produce from 80 to 90 farms each season, ranging from small urban farms to large family-owned operations. It includes products from beginning farmers in Go Farm's incubator program. We love what you're doing, Go Farm. Keep up the good work. Scientists at Oxford University developed a groundbreaking solar energy method. It doesn't rely on traditional silicone panels, so their ultra-thin, flexible, light-absorbing material can be applied to surfaces like cars, buildings, and even our mobile phones. This material captures a wider light spectrum, generating more power from the same sunlight. And it's been independently certified to deliver over 27% energy efficiency, which matches traditional silicone capabilities. Okay, more big news. In September, the world took a big step toward tackling one of our biggest challenges: climate change. So for decades, obviously, calls to phase out fossil fuels have been met with resistance, and they still are in a lot of cases. But now, in this newly adopted Pact of the Future, the UN has made it clear that it's time to move away from fossil fuels. And this global pact isn't just about climate change, but it's actually a call for the 193 member nations to come together and address conflicts, poverty, and yes, the climate crisis. And the document paves a way for digital cooperation and new guidelines for the responsible use of AI, which does have a big environmental impact. Okay, taking things a little bit deeper, let's go beneath the surface for this one. Scientists are actually now harnessing the power of sound to restore reefs, using recordings of healthy reefs to attract fish and wildlife back to deteriorated reefs. Ecoacoustics are really opening a new door for ocean conservation. And despite a lot of challenges, researcher Tim Simpson is optimistic. He says, if we can save coral reefs, we can save anything. And this last story hits home for several reasons for us. So back in 2022, we partnered with One Tree Planted to plant trees in Haiti 2020 for Coldplay's Music of the Spheres tour. While now continuing their efforts to put the planet first in their music endeavors, Coldplay has just partnered with the Ocean Cleanup to create their new LPs out of plastic collected in Guatemala. Turning plastic garbage into a functioning and high-quality record is not an easy process. Shout out to Coldplay and their mindful steps to mitigate their carbon footprint. And of course, we do have to talk about some of the good news coming from Plant with Purpose, because there's so much to share, and a lot of the good news and the milestones that we've reached is because of your support. So we're excited to share that across all of our programs, we're actually cutting poverty in half, which is huge. And we're happy to share that we planted over 70 million trees in total now. So excited to see what 2025 holds, and we can't wait to share more milestones with you. And while we never want to downplay the importance of amplifying the extreme change that is needed in the environment, we don't want to get so lost in the bad news that we forget to celebrate the wins. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Good News 2024, and we want to hear your positive environmental stories, so drop those in the comments below. Stay tuned for more by subscribing to our channel. See you in 2025!